Welcome, everybody. I'm Esteban, and this is the Esteban Hours Week in Review Sound Off. Today, we are sounding off about the third indictment for Donald J. Trump. It's been a long day for everybody, I think, not just for him, but for the entire country and the entire world. But we're going to get into this, our opinions on today's occurrences. Let's bring in our co host, Mr. Jeremy Baker. Hey, Jeremy.
What's going on, everybody? It is a exciting day, I guess. I don't know. Sad, exciting, however you want to look at it.
It depends. It depends how you look at it and who you
I've
are.
been waiting for this day. This is the case. You and me first talked. I was like, I got all my money on Jack Smith. This is literally 6 months of me waiting for it to go down, and it's going down.
It
So
is
I'm
here.
happy.
All right. Let's bring in our guest for today.
Mr. Paul J. Sisler, author of The Red Herring Effect.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome back, Paul.
How's everybody doing today?
Doing well, doing well. Even better now that you could join us. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
My pleasure.
You're so excited to be on here that you just can't
You're speechless.
put it into words.
I'm excited about this. So
It happens, it happens.
All right. So we've all seen the happenings today, right? All the way from when the indictment was announced, 4 counts. Those 4 counts, I believe, is what? 2 counts of conspiracy, 1 count of obstruction, and what was the other one? Or is it 3 counts of conspiracy?
conspiracy to defraud the United States, Title 18, 371, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, Title 18, 1512K, count 3, Title 18, obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, which is 1512 C2, and Title 18, Section 241, conspiracy against rights.
That sounds like
Okay,
a lot,
with receipts.
right?
I like it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
So my first question is, who would have thought that a former American president would be charged with conspiracy and obstruction of justice? Now, we had it happen already, right, with Nixon, but it never got to this point, right? It never got to this point because Nixon was smart enough to bow out and just give up. First of all, I'm thinking he did that because he realized he had a lot more to lose than to gain, and he had already went through a quote unquote successful first term. Right? This happened in the beginning of his second term. I think Donald J. Trump is he's still trying to make a point. He's still trying to furnish his legacy, which, in my opinion, he's doing a horrible job at it. What say you?
I'll let Paul have this one. Go for it, buddy.
All right. First of all, when you say conspiracy, that's a very, very broad term because there's a lot of things. Conspiracy is just two or more people contriving to do something. Okay. You have to really look at these parts of the United States Code, and especially 371, conspiracy to defraud the United States. What a lot of people don't realize is when you start looking into this particular code, what they're going to utilize, and there's a reason why they're going this aspect, what they're going to utilize is under the Insurrection Act, Section 331. Because with 331, you got to remember at some point in time, and I know Jack Smith has got this documentation. If you remember, Trump wanted to bring the military in to collect the machines, the Dominion machines, and to stop the proceedings of the transfer of power. In doing so, he's violated Section 332 under the use of militia and armed forces to enforce federal authority. In doing so, that makes him an insurrectionist. So under the 14th Amendment, he can no longer be president.
There you go.
Convicted, right? If convicted.
There you go, audience.
If convicted, yes.
We have to throw that in there, like it's. I mean, I hate it's like it's not obvious or anything at this point what's going to happen, but we always have to say allegedly or.
Before we go any further, let's play the news article in regards to today's events.
Let's do it.
Today, Trump was handed the indictment from a federal grand jury in an investigation led by the Justice Department's special counsel, Jack Smith, into the assault on the Capitol on January 6, 2021. It accuses former President Trump, the current GOP frontrunner for president, of trying to overturn the results of the last presidential election. It charges him with 4 counts, including conspiracy and obstruction. CBS News chief election and campaign correspondent Robert Costa has the latest for us.
According to the indictment, for more than 2 months following Election Day, the defendant spread lies that there was fraud in the election and he had actually won. These claims were false, and the defendant knew they were false.
Oof. That's the big line right there. The defendant knew they were false.
Yes. Of course, he's still saying no, he didn't do anything wrong, which just amazes me. That's where I believe something is mentally unstable, because with all of this evidence there, with everything that we've seen, at minimum, how are you still saying you did nothing wrong? At least stay shut and don't say anything. But how are you saying you did nothing wrong?
Honestly, it's his only option at this point, really. Yeah. I mean, what else is he going to say? So they're so far into this lie, they can't just go,
that's true.
All right, you caught us.
Well, and here's the other thing is when you read through the indictment, you're going to notice that they give a description of 6 co-conspirators, okay? One is Giuliani, one is Eastman, and one is Powell, okay? And just know that when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, I can see Giuliani sticking it out the longest. The other 2 are going to turn. And the information that they have, because these are serious charges, all right? People don't realize how serious these charges are. Not only could they all spend serious time behind bars, okay? Your reputation in this country is gone.
They will lose everything.
Okay, exactly. They are going, this is where racketeering and RICO laws start to come into play.
Right.
Okay. Right. So you're looking at more cases and more charges down the road. And these are attorneys. They know the repercussions of their actions. So they're going to hold out for as long as they know that they can, but at some point they're going to come with terms. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember Lev Parnas, who's spent time behind bars for Trump. Michael Cohen, who spent time behind bars for Trump.
Yes.
Both of them have said, you come to a point of realization that you just can't go any further.
Right.
I like Michael Cohen. I mean, I understand he messed up in the past, but at least he's trying to do the right thing now. But
you get caught up and you think you're in this realm of power that you're untouchable.
Right.
And once once it really dawns on you, like, I'm not getting out of this. I have no way forward to get out of this.
Oh,
I have to cooperate.
Right.
I found out Boris Epstein is co-conspirator number 6.
Really?
That's who the last co-conspirator is Boris Epstein, which was basically the guy running static for all the people that were actually doing searches at Mar-a-Lago.
I thought it was going to be Bannon, but
I know. I actually agreed with you on that, but no, I think it ended up being Boris Epstein's the last one.
But
I think there's going to be, like you said, there's going to be more indictments, but I think there's more people that are going to get indicted, not just because there's secret meetings that took place.
Yes.
Members of Congress.
But these were the
been
6
addressed yet.
most important.
Right.
So maybe if they're able to either indict these 6 or crack these 6 where they flip, they don't need anyone else lower.
Well, there's still going to be repercussions. I mean, no matter how you look at it, I have said, if you're going to swing for the king, you better not miss. Okay.
Right.
So just know to go after Trump and actually go forward like Jack Smith is doing, there's no missing. He is going to be found guilty when you look at the evidence. And obviously, we haven't even seen a tenth of what Jack Smith has. All right. For Jack Smith to go forward in the way that he's doing, there's no doubt in my mind that this guy's going to win this case. And then we have to look at these co-conspirators. With that, you're going to get more names. You're going to get more people. And it's just going to keep going and going and going. This isn't going to be over in the next year, the next 2 years. This is going to go on for a decade. We are going to be seeing a lot of things happening in the next decade. And this is why they're trying to delay it. If Trump's side can delay and get Trump back into the White House, that's the only option Trump has of getting out of this.
Yeah. I mean, he's facing over 500 years in prison, theoretically.
Yeah.
If you were to add up all the maximum terms, he's at like 560.
But because he's facing this great threat on his life, basically, he's also sharing with the public what he will do if he does get back into office.
Yes.
He will completely obliterate the entire government system to his to his benefit, which is frightening.
Yeah, he's already openly said, I'm going to go after the people that went after me. I mean, it's
all of them.
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking people that are just doing their jobs, just trying to uphold democracy. And if Trump were to be reelected, they would have to fear for their lives,
right,
because of what would possibly happen to them.
Not to mention, they are just doing their jobs, but Trump is saying that they are just politically motivated against him running for an election. One thing I've heard that I cringe at as well. He says they don't want me to win. Dude, you lost already. What do they have to be scared of? You lost already. And so when I hear that, I'm like, oh my God, what junk, what crap? They're scared of you running? No, they're not. In fact, they're emboldened even more so because they have that optimism that they're just going to repeat all over again what happened in 2020, because even more people today don't like him than 3 years ago. Am I correct?
Yeah, he's
are correct, but
he's not only hemorrhaging money, he's hemorrhaging support too. So
right, but you also have to remember he's becoming a martyr.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. He's
becoming a martyr. And the harder that he is hit, the more dangerous he becomes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He gets convicted. There will be a pardon in play, because if they put him behind bars,
yes,
it becomes a very dangerous country.
Yes.
They'll have no choice other than to pardon him. Now, that'll be on the federal level. They're still going to come after him on the state level. Then it's going to be up to the governor to pardon him.
Yes.
Because again, if you put him behind bars, a 77-year-old man behind bars that was a former president, you create something in this country that you do not want. All right. Now, granted, I myself personally, I would love to see him behind bars and rot the rest of his life behind bars. But it's not for the betterment of the country. It truly isn't. So they're going to have to pardon him. And I personally think the only reason why Biden hasn't stepped down already to where Kamala takes over, because I've said that Kamala is going to be taking over because of the whole war thing, all these other things. I think that once this trial happens, Biden pardons Trump. I truly believe Biden will step down. Kamala Harris will take over the reins. Because if you go back, Ford pardoned Nixon. Jimmy Carter would not have been the next president if Ford wouldn't have pardoned Nixon. Okay? But because he set that precedence of pardoning Nixon, we have to follow through with that. Because if we do not, the chaos is going to be horrible. Did Ford do the right thing back then?
That's a great hypothesis.
I believe so.
Paul does this shit to me all the time.
I believe Ford did the right thing because he prevented chaos in the country, even though it cost him the election. He didn't have the option of stepping down. Carter won the next election. Here you now have Biden in that same situation. And if Biden pardons him, Biden will not win. So Biden needs to step down so Kamala Harris can take over. And then the Democrats have a chance of winning again. Because if he stays in office, he will lose and we will have a Republican in office.
But do you think if that's true, if that happens, do you think that would happen before the election or after?
Before. Really? Before the election. This case,
I don't.
Jack Smith.
I stray from you because the whole country is not. First of all, they're not feeling. Some are not feeling Biden running a second term, and
correct.
I feel even more are not feeling.
That's why you got to hear me out. August 28th is the next hearing for Trump's current arraignment, okay? His next hearing is on August 28th. They're going to set the court date. Trump's team's going to try to waive the right to a speedy trial. Not going to happen. So now you have to look at the court dates that he has coming up. So when is he open for this next thing? November, December, January, February, March is out, April, May. There you go. So I am predicting that it's either going to be February or April that this court case is going to be set for trial.
Now I can see if
you'll get the conviction right before the primaries to where Biden can step down, Kamala comes in, and now the Democrats, they can let all these other people that are stepping up run for the primary.
Now, if he gets convicted, though, they can enact the 14th Amendment, if I'm not mistaken, and bar him from ever being in office again. Am I right? If he were to be convicted first, because I don't think they'll pardon him before, obviously, but I don't think they'll pardon him before the conviction.
Well, if they pardon him, trust me, part of the deal with the pardon is going to be you can't run.
Right.
That'll just be part of the deal with the pardon. All right. So you won't even need to enact the 14th Amendment. All you got to do is make that deal. I would prefer them to go through the 14th Amendment because now it'll look like a political motivation if they say you can't run. They need to go through the 14th Amendment because if the administration says, if you don't run, we'll give you a pardon. Well, now there's your political conspiracy that they're doing this strictly for political reasons.
See, I don't think a pardon helps the country. I don't think a pardon helps democracy. I don't think a pardon helps anything in this country heal. Trump needs to go to freaking prison for what he did to this country.
I agree.
F Nixon. Nixon didn't hire multiple fake electors in multiple states. He didn't take documents home with him and hide them in his bathroom with nuclear secrets. Like, the only way that democracy comes back from this, Trump, jail, done. I don't give a shit. I will not be happy unless Trump is in jail.
Did you ever listen to the Nixon tapes?
No.
Go back and listen to the Nixon tapes, my brother, okay? I'm telling you right now, okay? What Trump has done, and I know a lot of people are like, it's so much worse than what Nixon did. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's an abuse of power, period. And should he be behind bars? Should Nixon have been behind bars? Absolutely, okay? I want to see him there also. But I am telling you, if you do that, it becomes a very dangerous country overnight.
Yeah, but Nixon didn't try and overthrow democracy and install a dictatorship. Fuck that. I'm sorry, my language. Trump tried to use military force and suspend the Constitution of the United States. That's the only thing I don't. He tried to literally remove democracy from America and put himself and his buddies in power. That is way different to me than Nixon. I'm sorry. I can't agree with you on that one. I mean, this guy literally tried to remove 240 some odd years of democracy and put himself in power just because.
You guys, you guys brought up Nixon. So I happen to have a clip of Nixon that I'm going to play right now, since you just brought it up. Check it out.
My years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. President?
I've earned everything I got. Sounds just like Trump, though, doesn't he?
Thank you.
Meh. I didn't do anything wrong. Meh.
I was going to say that's what I was going to
say.
Narcissistic. Yes.
I'm just so angry about, like, the more I find out about Trump, the angrier I get. Like, he got so close to an executive order to send military troops out and collect, like, it blows me away the amount of deception and corruption that has happened within this country.
I do want you to make note. I want you to look at the Republican judges, the Republicans that are in different branches of government in office that are condemning Trump, that are disallowing a lot of his BS to go forward, are saying, you know, people that were in his administration, Bill Barr. When you start looking at how these people are starting to come out against him, Mike Pence was in a position that he probably could have stalled it and changed it and made this whole thing a whole different outcome. You have to, and again, I don't like Pence either, but I tell you, out of all the people running right now, I would much rather see Pence on the Republican side. If there were to be a winner on the Republican side, I would not be scared of Mike Pence as president. I would not be scared of Chris Christie as president.
I agree.
I'm scared of Donald Trump as president. I am scared of DeSantis as president. I would be scared of Greg Abbott as president. I would be scared of Tuberman, or whatever in the hell his name is, down there in Alabama, as president. There are people that I am scared of because of what they do. Okay?
Their mindsets.
Right, their mindsets. But now, when it comes to somebody that's going to uphold the Constitution, Chris Christie will do that. Mike Pence will do that. I may not like their policy. I may not like the kind of bills that they want to pass, but they will uphold the Constitution. And this is what we need in office, is someone that's going to uphold the Constitution. Whether it be someone on the left, somebody on the right, or somebody from a whole other party, I don't care. Uphold that Constitution. This is the big thing about Trump. Trump tried to overthrow the Constitution. That's why we have 4 charges under United States Code Title 18 that are being utilized for conspiracy and obstruction.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, that is what we mean when we say we need 2 healthy parties at all times, right? It doesn't matter whether we agree with it or not, but we need to know that we're not trying to negotiate with idiots, stupid people, treasonists. We need to know that the main rules and regulations we both agree upon, which is the Constitution, which goes by the Constitution. We need to know that both the left and the right, first and foremost, above parties, is following the Constitution and the amendments of the Bill of Rights, of which this country stands on.
I know we're over on time, but do you guys mind if I just play his reaction video before he got on his donor-funded jet? Yeah. All right, let's do this.
For America, and it was also very sad driving through Washington, D.C. and seeing the filth and the decay and all of the broken buildings and walls and the graffiti. This is not the place that I left. It's a very sad thing to see it. When you look at what's happening, this is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America. This is the persecution of the person that's leading by very, very substantial numbers in the Republican primary and leading Biden by a lot. So if you can't beat him, you persecute him or you prosecute him. We can't let this happen in America. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay.
Of course,
Do me
no
a favor.
responsibility whatsoever.
Do me a favor, put that back up and take it back to where you can get a nice picture of him where he's looking straight at us. And I want to point some things out real quick.
Okay, let me see if I can.
And walls and the graffiti.
Okay. I want you to look at his eyes. Seriously, I want you to look at his eyes. I want you to look at his jowls. I want you to look at how he's gripping that umbrella. This is a man that is not in good health. This is a man with the stress. The stress is getting to him. Okay? He is worried about this.
Go back to the picture.
I'll go back to the picture.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let me see.
Yeah, leave it there full screen so we can see what Paul is talking about.
Okay. You take a look at his whole facial structure right there. Just look at he is aged like you wouldn't believe. Okay.
Yeah, he does not look good, but all the makeup hides it.
Absolutely.
Correct. But I mean, when you're looking at his eyes, you look right underneath his eye and you see that white that's sticking up right underneath his eye there as he's squinting and all that.
Yes.
All right. That's swelling. That is a swelling. And then underneath there is darkness. And of course, yes, makeup is trying to hide a lot of that. Without the makeup, this is a man that is under intense stress.
Absolutely.
This is a man that is worried about what the hell is coming. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There might even be come right before that trial for these 4 counts. I would not be surprised if he takes a plea.
Really? I don't think he has it in him. I think he'd commit suicide first. And I'm it's just my opinion. I don't want to throw ideas out there, but I think he's too stubborn and too full of pride to want to take a plea. Because if he took a plea, that means the 14th Amendment kicks in almost immediately. We're a whole year away from the election. He'd have to watch someone else take his place. And imagine if that were to be DeSantis. He would be miserable. So taking a plea or not, regardless, he would still be miserable. I don't think that he could face it at all.
Trump doesn't like to lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
He's got a brand. He's got a brand to uphold. When he ran for president and he beat Hillary Clinton, first of all, he didn't expect to win. He could just then come out and say it was rigged against him, blah, 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 and his brand would increase. But he won. He was shocked that he won. Okay?
Right.
And now he's coming up on this trial. All right? Forget the 2024 election. We're talking about his life and going to prison.
Yes.
All right. You're talking about that steel door slamming behind him in a 10 by 10 cell that he's going to lay on a cot and look up at a concrete ceiling.
Stop teasing me. Stop teasing me. I can't take it.
When you start thinking about that, you start to worry about what the hell you're going to do.
Right. That's true.
That's true.
That's true. And that gives our audience something to think about. What's your opinion? Send your opinions in on what you think or how you think Donald J. Trump is going to handle this situation or will handle this situation in the event that he is convicted or that he feels he's on his way towards conviction. Thank you, gentlemen. Last thoughts? Last thoughts?
Well, he doesn't have a very good.
I said everything I wanted to say.
He doesn't have a very good legal team, and
not at all.
And when you saw what's her name out there and all that, you could tell that she.
yeah. You said it all.
Okay. He's worried. The legal team is worried, and Trump had to face off with Jack Smith in front of him, 15 feet away today, and
Nice.
Jack Smith stared him down.
He had to feel that heat from that stare.
Okay.
Yes.
Trump is scared.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And they said this from the first indictment. When he's in that courtroom, he has no position of power at all.
Yep.
And that within itself is a downer for him. And what do we say?
Yep.
Because in those few moments that he's in that courtroom, he's one of us, and he's feeling the way that he treats other people.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That weight is weighing him down.
And he's literally scraping the bottom of the legal barrel as far as attorneys go. Well, I mean, what does Midas Touch always say MAGA stands for? Make attorneys get attorneys.
There are no more attorneys left, right? In fact,
Nope,
the next round of attorneys are going to be, how do you say, doctors are residents, right? Before they become doctors. So what are lawyers before they become lawyers? Paralegals?
Dude, he's got a dude representing him now. It's literally 2 years out of law school.
The judge
he's on TV telling everybody about Donald Trump didn't do it. Come on.
The judge today did give him the option of, if you cannot afford an attorney, we will appoint one for you.
He's almost out of money, so we'll see.
Ooh, that legal aid is gonna kick in.
Yep.
All right,
Esteban, I'm good.
We're gonna end it here. Thank you, Paul. As usual, it's always a pleasure for you to guest on the Esteban Hours Week in Reviews. Sound off. Always welcome back. Thank you, Jeremy, our co-host. Just a little opinionated talk for you guys. Send in your comments on what you thought, or your questions, or your opinions on how today's indictment went and what you foresee for the future. I'm sure the rest of the week is going to be all about Trump. We're going to do our best to leave it here as soon as we conclude to the best of our abilities. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the week. Tune into tomorrow's Esteban Hour podcast. I believe I'm not sure what I don't even remember what's on the topic of discussion, but 8 p.m. Tomorrow, Friday, be there. Don't forget to follow, like, and share the podcast. And if you have a goal that you've accomplished or achieved, don't forget to say to yourself, this is how you